been working with USSD for a long time, actually more than 10 years. I think I deployed the first USSD gateway in Latin America back in 2005 for a voucherless top-up system. So when I got hired by this Digicel, who used to be a customer, I got hired as an innovation manager in El Salvador's operation, and I noticed that they were, well, too legacy. They made an improvement on the network recently, and in June, the radio access network was more like 90–95% GSM edge this year. Now they made a huge improvement, and most of all of the country has HSPA plus, which is, well, huge for them, not that great from my perspective, because I think they should be already on LTE. El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Cuba are the only 3 countries in Latin America that don't have an LTE deployment. So in the past like 5 years, I've been, well, transitioning myself from legacy networks and S7 to next generation networks. When I went through the Master of Science on that, and I noticed that sooner or later we needed to have some solutions, for example, for USSD. I studied the 3GBP specification for USSD on IMS. That specification was like very slowly, back in 2013, it only had mobile originated, the mobile originated USSD call flow defined. So very much like it was back in the 90s, in the 1990s, where USSD was defined for S7. So at that time I was like studying JNSD, and I joined the MobiSense Google public group, and I was focusing on that. And suddenly I think it was February 2014, I saw that these guys of MobiSense or Telstacks were already working on this that I thought nobody was paying attention. So when I got hired by Digicel, I noticed far more than their setback in the radio access network and their core network. I also noticed that they were using some practices that were very inefficient. Then from the MobiSense public Google group, I noticed these guys were very progressive, and they have some very interesting solutions, far from only use gateway, but a platform called RESCOM. And with RESCOM, you can integrate USSD gateway and this next generation platform to build very smoothly and very quick services, value-added services. For instance, triggered by USSD. And the very cool thing is that it's prepared to receive USSD from an LTE network or IMS. So I started talking with Evelyn, John, Amit, to become customers of Telestacks. So what I did was just I deployed the platforms on virtual machines and followed some examples on their website, and they worked perfectly good. I demonstrate that to the guys from the commercial department and from technical for the technical department, and of course, well, some of them didn't know very much what I was talking about. You know, imagine this is an operation that they don't have LTE. They were working on improving from Edge to HSPA. So I was talking about, moreover, they didn't have any plans for an IMS, ID multimedia subsystem. So I was talking about call session control functions and border gateways and USSD over IMS. So most of the guys didn't know what I was talking about. But using RESCOM and building value-added services so quickly, in a matter of just, let's say, 5 minutes to 2 hours, if it was very, very difficult. It was not so difficult, but if it was a little bit more interactive than just telling you, I don't know, your components. For example, the solution is an example for a car repair IVR. I turn it into USSD. But why into USSD? Because in Latin America, USSD is huge. Because it's a channel that it's used because it's very simple. There are some places where people actually they don't read, they don't write. So it's more simple. It's just to digit numbers. So well, it's very cost effective for operators. So USSD is very big in Latin America. On the contrast, for example, in the United States, which, as far as I'm aware, it's not used. Well, the thing is that the demonstrations were a big success. The guys from the commercial department immediately wanted to adopt these solutions because what they were used to is whenever they wanted a change, as simpler it looked, it was a whole process that could take 2 or 3 days. And with RESCOM and US Gateway from Telestacks, it was just like that, and very simple. That simple change could be done live and in a matter of seconds. So that was pretty much it. Now there's an RFP, request for proposal, going on the legal department of Digicel El Salvador and Digicel Group from those demonstrations. It's a pity I can't demonstrate here because I have a lot of things to show, not only from what I'm talking about, but from the technical side. these demos are, for example, I have a Wireshark instance running, and you can see the S7 and zip messages going on live. So, well, that was pretty much my work with people of Digicel, and together with guys from Telestacks. In the meantime, we built a relationship, and I'm kind of more somebody on the research and development. So when Evelyn and John and Amit asked me if I wanted to join them, obviously my response was a big yes, because I enjoy more being on this side than on the technical side. Although I'm a technical engineer, but I like challenges, and what I've been studying in the last years, Telestacks and this kind of work, it's much more fun for me than being a guy in a telco, which is very, very, very good, but specifically these guys in El Salvador, they need to step up a little bit. So, well, that's why I'm telling you about Digicel here, but currently, since 2 months ago, I've been working with that. So, I'm sorry we had this technical issue, but pretty much that was it.
So thank you very much, Fernando, for sharing these experiences. I'm sure you're here after the event, so
if you want
to catch up.
See it, you can join me, and we can see it on the.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Of course.
How many subscribers in your network now using how many subscribers in your network subscriber user?
Subscribers.
I don't know, using this gateway.
1 million subscribers.
1 million.
El Salvador is 6.6 million inhabitants country. It's a very small country. It's only 21,000 square kilometers.
Okay.
But it has 6.3 million subscribers. Inhabitants.
But you
it has
deploy
four MNOs,
users.
four mobile network operators.
Okay.
Digicel is the smallest one. So when you are the smallest one, you need to come up with ideas fast. And it was very stressful, because sometimes, but every time, the strategy, the commercial strategy was changing all the time. From 1 month to the other, you couldn't believe that the ATL, the propaganda for the subscribers, for the users, was the complete opposite, from 1 month to the other. But that's how it works in a telco when it's struggling with churn. But this kind of they do a lot of promotions through USSD. USSD is the channel they use for almost everything. Then you have Tigo, Claro, and Movistar there too. And Tigo is the bigger, and it's like 3 million subscribers.
Thank you. Are there other questions? Yeah, Greg, go ahead. We have some time.
Thank you for this story. I really like it. It shows that innovation goes bottom up, and I really appreciate that you were able to show this concept and sell it to your marketing commercial team. But my question is, once you decided to go to Stresax, what left in operator? Who is going to lead your way?
Well, that's a that's a good question. From the technical side, I'm not sure, but from the commercial side, which are the main interested guys, because Digicel it works in a way that very similar to Movistar or Telefonica. Big decisions are made in their headquarters. So big decisions for Digicel are made in Jamaica, in their headquarters. So on the technical side, the guys were like, oh, that's very big, that's very nice. Some guys didn't get it, but on the commercial side, we have a guy there that is the head of products. You remember? I mean, we had a conference like 4 months ago with him. I was with this guy Gerardo Navarrete, and myself of Digicel, talking with Amit and John, presenting this solution. And so the channel is with him. He's pushing this, but you know, telcos sometimes move very slow, and when you have an operation that is pushing 33 other operations, a whole group, sometimes it takes time, you know. But unfortunately, because I am a technical guy, there's nobody in the technical department that is pushing this, because they are just like waiting for the headquarters to take the decision, and they are more focused on the radio access network improvement, the HSPA rollout and all of that. But in this case, the commercial department was more interested, because as they need to fight against churn and find solutions and make their subscriber base grow and not shrink like it's happening. So they need to find this kind of solutions. Another thing, well, I put this also I pushed this to Digicel Group in Jamaica, in the headquarters, and some guys there, they got it, and one thing they thought that was very cool, it was that this is open source, which it was surprising for me, because as Martina said some minutes ago, we come from a legacy mindset, a lot of us. So, and also in the software industry, this is like very progressive and new, and it was very cool to hear. Oh, open source. That's we're looking forward to. So, well, the virus is there. The wheel is like rolling slowly, but I think eventually, in a matter of 6 months or perhaps 1 year, we get to that point. If that answers your question.
Okay. Just to extend, I think you have a very valid concern about when the technical guy moves out of operator, the whole motivation dies, and I think that's where the role of the operator comes in picture. You know, the operator has to realize that the days of RFP is gone. The more RFP you float, the more probability that the project is going to die. That's experience from my side, at least. I work with so many operators across the world. It's more of let the individual take the responsibility about what they do. Let him do whatever he likes, and then let him bring in the solution that he thinks is good or bad. And then you guys discuss instead of going through an RFP channel, which ultimately goes only to the hands of the big guys like Huawei, Ericsson. And of course, when these guys come, they don't come cheap. They bring a lot of bill with them, right? And then what is in table for operator? You pay such a big price, and the innovation dies automatically. So that's a valid concern. But the solution, I think the solution has to come from the operator side for that concern.
Just to extend what, I mean, in just a few words, there are different operators. Digicel has one mindset, but for example, the people from Millicom and Tigo, they are completely opposite. They're very progressive. So I think we are already addressing these guys. I have been working with them for more than 10 years, and they like very much the idea. So perhaps what Amit said is he totally nailed it. But we have some technical guys in Millicom that they like the idea, and they say it's wonderful, and we are going there. Okay, so just was to send what I mean.
Thank you very much once again, Fernando, and the guys from Telestack. Thank you.